Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 6.
Wildfires burning across southwest Florida right now. You can see smoke here along I-75. This is close to mile marker 95. 7,000 acres up in flames right now, and the two largest are both in Collier County. Neither is more than 25% contained. The Greenway fire was 100% contained yesterday, but another fire actually merged with it, and it's now at 1,600 acres. It is 25% contained. This is video of the Flag Pond fire. It's in the Picayune Strand State Forest. It's grown to 1,900 acres and it's only 20% contained. 4 in Your Corner's Carl 48 live at Picayune Strand State Forest, where voluntary evacuations went into effect last night for people who live near this fire. Carl?
Elisa, there are homes back here in the Picayune Strand State Forest, and at last check, those voluntary evacuations were still in effect, so fire crews can focus on battling the Flag Pond fire. You can see the plume of that in the distance behind me. Now, yesterday, fire trucks were positioned at about 10 homes that were being threatened as the wildfire expanded, and 24 hours later, they are still putting everything they have into trying to contain this fire.
Crews are actively working out there to establish containment lines.
Fire crews have been working around the clock to get a handle on the Flag Pond fire in the Picayune Strand State Forest. Hurricane Irma left behind plenty of downed, dry branches that are adding fuel to the fire, and the winds aren't helping.
The winds are so erratic that we may have an idea where it's going 1 second, but with the wind changing or shift, it could come back to an area. So we just want everyone to be prepared.
10 homes in Picayune Strand were threatened by the fire Thursday night, prompting voluntary evacuations, but no homes were lost.
If you are able to get out and have your valuables with you and your pets and your livestock, it's going to help us focus our efforts on that wildfire.
A few miles south, the Greenway fire has also gotten bigger since Thursday. It's left cars covered in ash, and these workers at a business on Greenway Road were working with face masks. Caden Greco is visiting Marco Island and says smoke from the fires has even been a problem down there.
There's a lot of smoke down there, but it's not really hard to breathe until you get a little closer.
The Collier County Sheriff's Office's Huey helicopter has been assisting firefighters by dropping countless buckets of water on the Flag Pond fire. Volunteers have jumped in to help too. Parishioners from the Living Word Family Church bringing food and Gatorade to firefighters in Picayune Strand.
We were also told this is where the most demand is and need right now, that this is the largest one going on right now in Collier County.
Now another large wildfire is the West Boundary Fire in eastern Collier County. At last check, that was 1,000 acres and 50% contained, so crews have their work cut out for them for at least the next several days. Live in Collier County, Carl Fortier, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right, thank you, Carl. And the fire risk is not going away anytime soon. Take a look at this. This is tomorrow's forecasted fire index. You can see Collier, Hendry, Glades, and DeSoto County all at a very high danger. That's the red color. Lee and Charlotte counties are in that purple color, and that's extreme danger levels when it comes to fire. So please be careful and please use common sense. With all these fires burning, 4 in Your Corner wants to make sure every member of your family is safe. That includes ones with 4 legs. Animal experts say that you should be keeping your pets inside, especially if you live close to these fires. Smoke in the air, falling ash could hurt your animal because, of course, it damages the air quality as well. They add it's important that you take your pet with you during any type of evacuation because animals left behind could die, and if they do, you could ultimately face charges. The fire marshal with South Trail Fire District says a fire at Coral Harbor Apartments is suspicious. This is on the 7700 block of Gladiolus Drive in Fort Myers. The call about this fire went out about 6:15 this morning. It was located on the ground level of that apartment complex. 4 in Your Corner waiting for a fire investigation to be completed so that we can learn the cause. Of course, we'll let you know. Well, we are getting more information tonight about a deputy-involved shooting that happened yesterday. The deputy, in this case, shot a man after he was stabbed by him. The Lee County Sheriff's deputy involved in the incident has been discharged from the hospital. Deputies say they got a call for help about 1:30 yesterday afternoon and went to a home on Ora Lane near Barrancas Avenue. This is on Bokeelia. They say a man, Ricky Beatty, began to attack the deputy with a knife, stabbed the deputy. So the deputy, fearing for his life, shot Beatty. No word right now on Beatty's condition. Well, the Dow took a plunge this afternoon again. It fell 425 points today and more than 700 points yesterday. Experts say the decline is likely because of a potential trade war between the United States and China. This as President Trump placed new tariffs on Chinese goods this week. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ also showing losses today. Well, right now in our nation's capital, students, parents, and teachers alike are gathering for the March of Our Lives. Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School students who sparked this movement are among the million people in D.C. right now. 17 of their peers were gunned down inside their school last month on Valentine's Day, and now these students and teachers are pushing for tougher gun laws. Alex Hagan is in D.C. tonight, following up and sharing their stories.
More than a month ago, a 19-year-old former student walked into Marjory Stoneman Douglas and opened fire, killing 17 people. That ignited a movement. Many of those students traveling to Tallahassee, now they're in our nation's capital, and before they march tomorrow, they met with U.S. leaders today. All is quiet on Capitol Hill. Just hours away now from the much-anticipated March for Our Lives.
Anticipating it has been nerve-wracking, but being here already is amazing.
Today I caught up with Julia Salamone, a senior at Marjory Stoneman Douglas, and her younger sister Lindsay, a freshman. Both flew in today, ready to march.
It's surreal. I didn't really think it would happen.
Taking in the scenes of our nation's capital today, greeted by many wearing their school colors.
The support is overwhelming. I just think that the support's very important, but also that we don't let it happen again so no one else has to go through it.
They joined dozens of other Douglas students this morning, meeting with Congress and former Vice President Joe Biden. This video shot by junior Zach Hipschman, co-creator of the Parents Promise to Kids movement. Now the stage is set for tomorrow, more than a month after the Parkland shooting.
Nobody should have to be a part of something like that or witness that.
Remy Work is a former Douglas student, best friends with Julia. These three march for never again.
Lawmakers need to understand is we're never going to stop talking about it, and I'm very excited to march.
Now buses continue to roll in here in Washington, D.C., some even flying in tomorrow morning and leaving the same day. I'm Alex Hagan reporting.
Well, a 16-year-old female student shot at her Maryland high school on Tuesday has died. It happened last night. Jalen Willie was taken off life support yesterday afternoon, according to her mom. One other student, a 14-year-old boy, was shot in the leg and discharged from the hospital the next day. The shooter died after a confrontation with the school resource officer, but it's not clear tonight who fired the deadly bullet. Police say the shooter knew Willie, and it was not a random act of violence in his book. Well, while hundreds of thousands, as you saw, are in D.C. right now, community members here in Southwest Florida will be marching in downtown Naples. 4 in Your Corner's Jillian Hartman speaking with a student who hopes to inspire change because some of her friends were killed in the Parkland shooting.
Here in downtown Naples, hundreds of students across Southwest Florida will march together with teachers, parents, and local leaders for one purpose, and that's to make a change. Enough is enough. Never again. Protect your kids. Those are the chants that will echo through the streets of downtown Naples on Saturday morning. Collier Students for Change, a group founded by local students after the Parkland shooting, organized this march in Naples. We're told some Marjory Stoneman Douglas students will also participate. A bell will ring 17 times to honor each Parkland victim, and it will ring an 18th time to commemorate every student and teacher who lost their lives to gun violence.
For me and other students, we're just so shocked how ever since Columbine it never was really fixed. So we're trying to address that we need safer schools, not just gun laws, we need safer schools because anyone can get onto Palmetto Ridge right now.
Caitlin Socklich, a student at Palmetto Ridge High School, says she lost 2 of her friends in the Parkland shooting, and she doesn't want another one of her friends to become a victim of senseless gun violence.
I can say that I lost 2 of my friends, but I lost multiple other friends as well because we all lost ourselves with this shooting. We aren't the same people we were in the beginning of this year. We all kind of lost each other, and we need to try to, as a community, get ourselves back into this whole loving community because the shooting affected everywhere in Florida.
Just like Caitlin, many local students will give speeches and will write postcards to politicians demanding that action needs to be taken towards stricter gun laws. According to Collier Democratic Party, the Naples mayor, Bill Barnett, and former Stoneman Douglas principal Mike Kinghorn will give a speech during the rally that will take place right after the march at 9:45. Now, the march is set to begin at 9 a.m. It starts and ends at Cambier Park. Everyone is welcome to join and is encouraged to make signs. Organizers just asked for people to wear orange or a t-shirt that shows solidarity towards the cause. In downtown Naples, I'm Jillian Hartman, Fox 4, in your corner.
A Stoneman Douglas graduate is working through his grief in the only way that he knows how, through art. He's a glass artist who started with drawing and painting, and he says he got his start as an artist at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. He graduated in 2005. Well, a few days after the shooting, he says he couldn't sleep, so he stayed up till 4 in the morning, and this was the start of a memorial.
Until the design was basically where I thought it should be. It's not meant to make you sad when you look at it. It's just a reminder so that we don't ever forget.
He's created a small model that you can see here. It will be much larger when the real deal is done, and the memorial will be made of glass and metal, 17 feet tall, with the names of all 17 victims. You can see there are broken lines across it, and this symbolizes everyone's broken hearts, he says, but it still holds together like it's mended to be stronger. Parkland leaders are on board, but they're not exactly sure where they'll place it yet. Still to come tonight at 6, an infant caught on camera smoking pot. And now her mom is behind bars. How police say they found out about this video. A man stealing a car and speeding down city roads. It all ends 10 feet down in a ditch. What officers say the driver had. Plus, the fair is on in Collier County. There's so much to do, from food to rides, animals, all kinds of stuff. So we're going to check it out for you. And you're watching Fox 4 News at 6.